as I enjoy my breakfast on this fine Sunday morning. What are you having, Toshi, you ask? I'm having oatmeal with egg muffin and some coffee. That sounds like an old person breakfast, but I swear I'm not. I am probably the youngest Honkai Star creator. I think I can say that for sure. So, as with all preform videos, remember that this is, the thing that comes under your pipe, under your sink or whatever that you don't want to happen because a plumber has to come and fix it. You know that word. So, one thing we know about Huo Huo is that she is a wind abundance character. She's going to have materials that is most likely in the region of the Zhengshou Luofu. So therefore, this right here is a material you're most likely going to need for the character. It is the Ascension for wind characters, and it is in the Zhengshou Luofu. This is as obvious as it could get, right? As for where this material is, you want to go to Alchemy Commission in the Starro map. Once you TP to the Alchemy Commission, you want to make your way all the way down here. Do note that once you do unlock this location, you can just TP right over. And as you go through here, you're going to find a chest. Well, I got all of the chests in this region, but as you go through here, the technique points, I usually grab this before I actually start the runs for the fight. And then you can unlock the Stagnant Shadow, which is Sapo Celestial. And this is where you'll get the materials that is most likely for Huo Huo. And keep in mind, for every 5-star character, you're going to need a total of 65 to get them to the max level. Now, you don't have to necessarily level up Huo Huo to the max level. I'm choosing to do so just because I like to level up every character to max. And I would say this is about 2 days worth of farming, by the way. Now, just like all of the other Abundance characters, she's going to use Abundance Trace materials. So make sure you're stocked up on your Flower of Eternity. I don't have very many, but to be honest, I've been farming the ley line. It's just that in this game, unfortunately, the rates for the 4-star trace material is extremely low. Probably like less than getting an energy regeneration rate rope, or maybe not that low. Who knows? Now, if we had to do the exact map for what you would need, honestly, just get as many as you think you will need. I'm not going to be the one to tell you how many you should get. I'd never really level up the trace materials of abundance characters to max because there's no point. It's a waste of materials, waste of your resin, waste of your trail-based power, whatever you want to call it. I usually just get enough to level up the skill, the ultimate, and call it a day. The rest of the traces, like the HP, the effect resistance. I think she has speed also. So get the important trace materials in the level up tree of the character and call it a day. You don't have to do any more farming. To be honest, I would hold off on pre-farming this until you get the character to see exactly how many you need. But if you want to pre-farm some now, go ahead. Just don't go too heavy into pre-farming for the trace materials is all I'm saying. And as you can see, these are my Bailu's trace materials, and I've gotten by just fine. I've never needed to upgrade more than this because the healing she provides is enough alongside the invigoration. My Luocha is higher with the levels and stuff, but that's only because in the teams I use him with, I don't have any way of mitigating damage, so I need the extra bit of healing he does provide. But his elemental skill, I did not upgrade any more than this because his skill already heals so much. It heals your ally to full HP nearly. Some exceptions are like Links, you probably want to upgrade to full. I personally don't have mine upgrade. I'm not even using the character because there's no point. I have Fu Xuan, but definitely upgrade a character like this to full. Tasha's another example of having to upgrade her to full because she's a 4-star. She has less stats. She has less multipliers overall. You're going to have to upgrade her more to get more out of her healing. So for the level up of some of her traces, right past level 7, I believe, is where you're going to start needing the weekly boss materials. You want to farm the Phantalia boss. Once you do get those materials, you're good to go. I wouldn't go too heavy, like don't use too many in the character. Of course, she doesn't need to be leveled up any further than just her ult being at max because of the energy and the attack she gives. But other than that, you can just use these, right? Whatever you already have in your account and just continue farming for the same weekly boss. But since Huo is a 5-star, just like you would level up Bailu's traces, just level up her ultimate, her elemental skill, and level up her trace materials for the HP, the effect res, and the speed that she has in her trace tree. Now, if you don't have any of the gacha options for light cones, use Quid Pro Quo. This is going to be best off for the character. You give energy to the ally whenever you take your turn. This is going to be very good in teams where you're going to refund energy relatively quickly. Very nice with teams with Team Yun, right? Get this light cone. You get max refinements easily from the Memories of Chaos or your weekly boss runs. Heck, you probably already have this maxed out in your account. As for post-op conversation, I do some testing when the character does a release, and I definitely will let you know from Refinement 1 to Refinement 5 how valuable this is on the character, and if it makes getting her, it probably will make her ultimate a lot more easier to obtain, but how much better is it going to be than, shared feeling, for instance, giving energy to the team. Now, perfect timing is a nice light cone, and to be honest, it really is good in the character because effect resistance is a pretty hard stat to obtain for most characters, right? The only way we have of getting it is through substats and, well, the trace for the character. So having effect resist in a light cone is very, very good. And you increase the healing you get with the amount of effect res you have on the character. And for a cleanser like Huo Huo, you definitely want to have 70% and higher effect resistance. That's very important. 70% and higher. Now, as for the teams I'm going to use with Huo Huo, it's very obvious. I'm going to use Ting Yun with Bronya, and that's going to be Hypercarry Seal. And for the other team, I'm going to be testing out Den Heng with Yukong, Ting Yun, and Huo Huo. This should be a very solid team. All I did is replace Luocha because Huo Huo is going to be a better option for this team, right? Now, one of the issues with this team potentially you might run into is the skill point management side with Den Heng. Now, keep in mind, Huo Huo does give energy, so the energy she does give should be enough to make sure that you can actually save skill points for your next rotation when it comes to Daniel, but we'll have to wait and see, right? We'll do testing when the character does release. But just like Bailu, she's a very flexible healer. You could put her in any team and she will excel really well. You don't have to use her. Honestly, you don't have to use her for the energy regeneration. You don't have to use her for the attack she gives with her ultimate. You can just use her as a standard healer and cleanser, and she will provide a lot of value for your team comps. So think of her as another Luocha, for example. So the thing is about Huohuo, as I mentioned before, she's a character that only needs 3 stats. You need HP, you need speed, and you just need effect resist. That is all you need on the character. I have 140% energy regeneration rate. This is going to help with getting her ultimate. This is including the light cone post-op conversation at max refinements, of course. So if you don't have post-op conversation, then you're looking at about, I would say, 124 energy regeneration rate, which is still good because you'll get your ult faster. Now, as for my build, you can see I'm just using random relics. You don't need to put best in slot relics on this character. You don't need to farm new relics for this character. Just give her whatever you have on your account. All you need is stats. So I just have HP, defense. Defense doesn't matter on an HP scaling character whatsoever unless your name is Fu Xuan. HP percent, effective res, a little bit of speed. I wish I had more speed on the character so she can take more turns. Try to generate, a skill point for the damage dealer, but that's not advisable because speed is the hardest stat to obtain in the game, right? Outgoing healing boost, I have speed, HP here. This is a very nice piece. And then I have speed, main stat, HP, and effective res. Speed, main stat, always on a character like Huo Huo, right? She gets a speed trace. So with the speed trace from my Bailu build, I would have around 139, I believe, which is a decent amount of speed. As for my planar set, I'm using the sprightly, I'm not even going to try to say the second word, but it's the one that gives you 5% energy regeneration rate, and you take the turn at the start of the battle because you have over 120 speed. This is very good on the character. I'm using energy regeneration rate link rope. This is going to always be best on the character. Very important. Energy regeneration link rate rope. So it's going to be my Huo Huo Relic build. You can just go for main stats. It's very easy. You don't have to go for anything else. Now, as for the planar set, that's the only thing I can suggest, farming for. But to be honest, the energy regeneration rate link rope, you can just craft. And then the spear is going to be HP main stat, and that's relatively easy to obtain. But it's going to be the video here. As you can see, I've not done Ethereum Wars, so I'm going to get into this. God damn, I'm not looking forward to this. I don't know. I know there's some of you out there. There's some of you motherfuckers out there like me that is waiting to the last day to do this. And yeah, we share the pain. This is, oh my God. I'm not looking forward to this. Thank you for watching and have a nice rest of your day. Peace.